Okay, I started my final piece with the neck piece I was making. So this is me sewing it together with this fabric I chose, and then this is it all finished. And then I decided to add some bits to it, so I did like ruffles, gathers, and I added some extra layers onto it just to extend it a little bit. And then this was me on the train. I was just doing some crochet ready to be added onto the neck piece as well. And then this is how the crochet ended up looking. I just ended up unravelling the bottom bit so it would be a bit frilly. And then I started fraying all of my sewing on the neck piece so it looked a bit more rustic and like dilapidated. And then I continued doing lots of crochet, and here's me adding it on, and I just pinned it in place until I was ready to sew and until I was really happy with where it was put. Then I moved on to the trousers and the bodice, and I used this silk. And then I went back to the neck piece and I used puff binder all over it just so it created like a 3D bit of dimension onto the neck piece. This is where I put all the puff binder, and then I just let it dry, and then once it had dried I ironed it and then painted over the top, which I show a bit later on. So me just creating the sleeves out of the same silk that I used for the bottoms and the top, and then I just kind of gathered the ends a little bit just to make it look more royal. And then this is my plan for my trousers, so I decided to do like an extra leg piece over the top. And then this was me cutting out for the extra leg piece, and then I was using puff binder on that as well. I did decide to do this one detachable just so it'd be easy with the costume wearing. And then I went over and did my waistband, and then this is me colouring in my puff binder using just watercolours I find worked best. And then I did some couching, but machine couching on the leg pieces just to make them look as kind of detailed as possible, but still looking like kind of naturistic and like the character Albert. And then I started pinning my zip in place for my top, and then I sewed that. And then here was the extra leg piece that I created, detachable, that goes just over the top of the other trousers. And yeah, that's how I made it.